Thank you, Mr. Murphy and Ms. Fitzpatrick for attending today. Can I just follow on from that question about the coroner's office having failed to act? And earlier we heard from Professor Scratton regarding, and I completely concur with him, around the need for a coronial investigation and inquest. But is the reason the coroner has failed to do this, or one of the reasons at least, because it's inadequately resourced? That's what the professor indicated to us earlier. And so what is critical, I think, if we are to deliver justice, is that whatever we put in place recognises that inadequacy in the first instance, and secondly then is scaled to a point whereby it will actually be able to deliver justice. Would you agree with that statement? And then lastly, I particularly want to hone in on your point about the views of the survivors being given statutory basis. That is really critical. And how do you think we can best ensure that the survivors are given justice and that they are satisfied through this process?
Well, in the first instance, you already are engaging with them. You in the previous session, I could listen to that, and so to go back then to the coroner, I do agree. Yes, if the coroner is given jurisdiction and the coroner is given the resources, and that's enshrined in the statute, that is the best way to go forward. Now, as regards, I think it's really important that underlying our whole report is that at all stages in the process that there is communication and transparency, and that the views of the survivors and the families are taken into account. This is one of the most critical aspects of the report. If I only had 30 seconds here today, that's what I would stress. But that, as I said, think earlier, that mustn't be just a courtesy or something that's discretionary. It must be enshrined in the obligations of the agency, and as it progresses through the various stages of this process, that it will at all times not just communicate with them, but actually listen to their views and try to take those on board, because that is key to achieving truth and justice, and that we want to make amends for the wrong that has been perpetrated on these survivors and on their families.